Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of owning a home or investing in one. So, some of you may remember, or whether you do or you don't, I am a big fan of the Real Housewives franchise, if you will, even Married to Medicine. Okay, so recently I've been watching some of the latest episodes of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And if those of you who have been watching, you'll realize that there have been some real estate plays that have been coming up on this particular show that I'd like to get into just a little bit. And I say a little bit because I'm not a lawyer. Yes, I've been working for law firms for many years, but not on the legal side, more on the IT side. I am also an associate for Legal Shield, an associate meaning someone who promotes using legal insurance is really what it is. I believe that everybody should have access to this. Let's take one of the cases in the show that I see that, some of you may have wondered about. I know that many of you have because I've seen other videos on it. And that is that Ashley and her husband, Michael, they first, when they started the show, they said that they were separating. Yet, Michael was going to go ahead and buy Ashley a home. And people wondered about that, but as we see in this last episode, they're actually officially getting a divorce. Some people may say, it's still weird for him to buy the house for her. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's buying it under his LLC. Guys, actually, now that it's come out that it's official and that they are actually getting a divorce, in my eyes, in my opinion, and from the little that I know, I think it's actually wise that he does it, that he has agreed to do it under an LLC. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully, he probably has that in writing, because if they're going for a divorce, she makes considerably less money than he does. Plus, she has 2 kids. They have 2 kids together. So, in this particular instance, she's entitled to a lot of money. Okay, even though, yes, she's not his first wife. I believe she's his second wife. But the kids from his first wife, most of them are grown anyway. So he is going to have to pay child support. I don't think he can I'm almost certain he can't get around paying the child support. However, buying the home under the LLC, the reason why I think that's a smart move is because sometimes there have been cases, and I'm not going to accuse Ashley of doing this, but, from looking at, other marriages and what have you that fell into divorce, sometimes women became vindictive towards the man and recklessly overspent on many different things, including the home. So I think it's great that he will be instrumental in buying the next home. And I also think it's good that he did it under his LLC. It's going to save him a lot of money. And to a certain extent, it's also going to protect him, being that he will be part of the process, have a little bit more hands-on when it comes to selecting the home. I know she's going to have most of the authority in choosing the home, but he's going to have his hand in selecting the home as well. So this way, his pockets will not be hurt as badly if he did not partake in this, and if he did not do it under an LLC, right? And if anything were to pop off, particularly in this particular situation, just with the house alone, she would not be able to go after his personal pockets. She would only be able to go after the LLC, all right? She can, basically from what I see, she can go after his pockets when it comes to child support. And I think that's automatic, and I think we all agree that she is definitely entitled to child support. She probably will also be entitled to spousal support as well, because she really does not make as much money as he does. And child support, I'm not really, sure about the state, but sometimes it's not enough. Even though it's a lot for many people to handle, sometimes even with it, even that is still not enough, especially if one parent makes significantly less than the other parent. Okay, so now that I see that they're getting a divorce, the whole thing makes sense, and I think it's a brilliant move. All right. Now, when it comes to the other situation with another character on the show, I shouldn't call her a character, another housewife on the show, and that's Robyn. Robyn, for those of you who don't know, is remarrying her ex-husband, who was a famous sports star at one point. They lost money together, and it put a strain on their marriage. He also had an extramarital affair, I believe. It was either during the marriage or while they were separated, but still together in some ways. Anyway, things between them the light has rekindled. She has gotten herself in a position where now Robyn, is making more money than Juan, her husband. So in the first marriage that they had together, I don't believe they had a prenup. But now that they want to remarry again, she is considering getting a prenup. And some people have said, oh, that's not fair because they didn't have it the first time around. I'm going to tell you this. As a single woman who's dated and what have you, and I'm getting serious with one particular gentleman, I believe in prenuptial agreements. And I believe that moving forward in this particular situation, in all situations, honestly, I believe in prenuptial agreements, period. For a number of reasons. You never know where life will take you. You never know what will happen. I have seen situations where either the husband or the wife had a premarital affair, and that premarital affair led to the other person getting pregnant. Not always, but in a few cases it has. And that other person sued for child support. And now both have to pay child support to this woman. I've never really seen it where they had to pay child support to the man. But I have seen where they had to pay child support to the woman. And I don't think that that's fair, to be honest with you. I believe, yes, if the husband made the woman pregnant, the husband should pay the child support. But the wife, I don't think it's fair for her to pay child support to that other woman that was involved in the extramarital affair. Sometimes the wives go along with it and they're okay with it because they say that it's not, the child's fault. The child is here for a reason. And I understand their points of view as well. But I still think in prenuptial agreements, I still believe that there should be an infidelity clause within that agreement that says, whoever steps out on the other and has an extramarital affair, then that person should be responsible for whatever child support payments and not both. If the other one wants to elect to help out in child support, okay, but I don't think I don't know, for some reason, for me personally, I don't think it's fair to make both obligated to what one made a mistake in. So that's one area. The other area is, it's not true in this particular case, but there might be stepchildren involved. Maybe the two people, they want to make sure that whatever money they make together, the money goes to, certain children within the family. Because in my personal life, for example, my stepfather, when he was married to my mom, the lawyer had said, if anything were to happen to my mom, that the stepkids would actually I would have to share the money with the stepkids. And that may come into a sticky situation. So that's one of the reasons why it's important also to have those type of stipulations within your agreement. Also, I've actually been playing a game online that actually deals with real estate, and that game, I believe, is called Manor House. And in it, there was a relative who went to the lawyer and went to court and argued that part of the home, part of the manor, the estate that this woman had actually belonged to him. And she did some DNA and found out that he actually was adopted, and therefore he wasn't entitled to the property. So his bloodline didn't run through, and I believe he wasn't really specific. His name was not specified in that particular will. So because of things like this, I do think that prenups are needed. And of course, wills are needed, and I need to update my will as well. So guys, when I'm talking to you, it's not just me, quote unquote, preaching to you. I'm preaching to myself as well. And not only that, when I spoke to Legal Shield regarding this, before these episodes even came up, they said to me, oh, before you get married, you definitely need to speak to us. We definitely need to go over a number of things before you tie the knot. They believe in both a prenuptial and a postnuptial agreement. So guys, that's my take on the shows. You can put in the comments how you feel, whether or not you believe in a prenuptial or you don't. Like I said, I'm speaking more from my experiences, what I've seen. Divorce is just from what I have not seen a cute divorce or a nice divorce. Most of the divorces have been messy, even when I like both people, both the husband and the wife. They're great. But a lot of times when it comes down to the business and who gets what, a lot of times they don't agree. And I think it's better to agree beforehand and write it in that prenuptial agreement than to not have a prenuptial agreement and then wait until you decide, okay, we're going to split, we're going to have a divorce. I don't think everything is going to be so cut and dry. Not just when you own a home, but even when you own a business, whether it's real estate related or not real estate related, you know. And then think about all those accounts that are in both of your names. How is that going to be divided? You know? So guys, I hope I gave you some things to think about. I hope those of you who watch the show, you're taking notes. And don't just look at the show. Call a lawyer. Make sure your house is in order. And if it's not, get it straight. It's better to get things done now than to wait until the actual time. And if you can't talk to the person that you're quote unquote in love with about these type of things, then maybe you shouldn't get married. That's my opinion. Put your opinion in the comments. Guys, please feel free to pass this along amongst your friends. Remember, each one reach one, teach one, and maybe you guys can teach me a thing or two this time around on this particular subject. All right. See you later. Bye.